So this is probably the 10,000th video you see here on YouTube about the Fuji X100V, but I still think you will like what I'm gonna tell you about it. Hey guys, my name is Patrick and I'm a photographer here in Salzburg in Austria, and I will tell you about a camera that I didn't know that I needed in my life, but I very much love, and the 3 ways I'm using it in my everyday life. So let's get started with the 3 ways that I think the Fuji X100V improved my life to some extent. The first thing is what I call FOMAS, so the fear of missing a shot. Usually you say, as a photographer, the best camera that you have is the one that you have with you. But before you can ask the question, it's the question, which camera am I taking? And for me, who is basically an equipment nerd, it's always, which camera am I taking? Which lenses am I taking? And with that comes the age-old question, what do I want to sacrifice? Do I want to carry a big, heavy bag? Do I want to take a couple of lenses with me? And maybe it just doesn't fit in the day that I want to accomplish. Maybe I'm visiting a city or just strolling through the streets, or it's just, I don't know, a family event where I want to take a camera just to have one. And with that, I wanted to get rid of this fear of missing a shot and basically minimalizing my possibilities. And this is where the X100V is basically perfect, because it comes just like this. The second thing I want to talk about is the fact that I want to document my life. And I got this phrase from Mr. Eric Floberg. Hey, what's up, Eric? For me, life is not about those big moments where you take this perfect picture that is orchestrated to the last bit, where everything is just insanely well done. It's about those mundane moments where, I don't know, your kid eats a strawberry, or you're having a coffee with a friend, or you're walking in the street and discover a wonderful light hitting a wall, and whatever those little moments that really make up our lives. And also those moments that if you don't have a camera or you don't document this, you will for sure forget those moments, and it would be just so sad. And I cannot bring or I don't want to bring my bigger cameras everywhere, because also the bigger cameras just get in the way. If you have a bigger camera with a big lens, you have to basically put it between you and the moment. And I wanted to just look for a smaller type of camera where I can just be in the moment and like see it with my own eyes, and still have the possibility to either shoot a nice picture and also to maybe do a video about it. And obviously the best camera is the one you have with you, but I also don't want to shoot with my phone, which is the camera that I always have with me, because yes, it's nice to do those little things in between with a phone, but having a really good camera with a nice quality sensor is just so different. I don't know many people that print photos of phone photos for your wall at home, but I do know that I have a bunch of photos hanging from my professional cameras. So this is what I wanted to accomplish when I was looking for a camera that could help me with that. Okay, so number 3 is that the Fuji X100V just looks awesome. I think it looks like an old film camera. The design is perfect. It's so minimalist. Nobody even recognizes it when you're on the streets. You don't look like a professional photographer. You can sneak in a couple of street shots. And I think the black version here is just fantastic. I added some golden accents up here with just some paint from the craft store. And I added this golden shutter button, which I love. I added those little accessories, the thumb grip and the hood here, which makes it even look a bit cooler. And not that it's important how your camera looks, but it is a bit. Number 4 are the Fuji film simulations that are in camera. So you basically have, I think, 10 to 12 different presets basically that you can choose from. So you just go out shoot your pictures. And what I do, I shoot JPEG and RAW at the same time. So I have the JPEG ready if I want to transfer it to my phone immediately, or I have the RAW file then later on my computer that I can manipulate however I want. And I think for me, I often use just a black and white preset, because in black and white, first of all, everything looks maybe a bit more beautiful and also doesn't distract you when you shoot, because you're just taking the whole scene that you're capturing at one glance and don't think about it too much. The fifth thing that you actually pay for here in the Fuji X100V is the fact that you have a great sensor. I just love the quality, even if it's only, in quotation marks, only an APS-C sensor. The RAW file that comes out of it is just beautiful. The f2 lens, which translates to a 2.8 lens on a full frame camera, has enough depth of field. I also use a Tiffin black Pro Mist filter on it to give it a bit more vibe, as the young kids call it. And the video features are really great on it. The 4K looks beautiful. It's also quickly when you boot it up. And I think I haven't mentioned it, but it shoots 120 frames a second in full HD. And I know a lot of cameras out there that are much pricier that didn't do that. So the X100V gave me basically a new outlook into what I shoot and what I document with it. The first thing, I already mentioned it, is basically just documenting my daily life. It just sits on the counter at home. It is in my pocket, in my jacket pocket when I go out. It's in my travel bag when I go somewhere. So basically it's always ready, it's always there, and it's just quick to grab, boot up. And even if your kid is doing something funny, and especially since we have a kid, it's just fantastic to document these little moments and have it for me when I get older, or for my son when he gets older, and having great quality pictures of a time that is just too precious to lose. The second thing is that I shoot BTS with it. And when I'm on a production or wherever, I shoot my behind the scenes footage with the Fuji. Why do I do that? Because it's just a different matter of photography that you do with a tinier camera. You are not always in like this. You just hold it and snap whatever you can. And as I said, I use the black and white preset and have the JPEG ready. And I usually send out the behind the scenes shots immediately after the shooting, and everybody just loves it. And also the people don't really realize that you're taking pictures and just feel very comfortable in front of it, because it's not daunting to look at. Also, my third point, basically the behind the scenes, is what I also use it when I shoot weddings. Well, in a wedding, there is no behind the scenes, but what I do is that I just sometimes in some moments when I already finished with my actual shots that I wanted to take, I just get the Fuji out and do a couple of more shots, as I said, because it's just a different type of taking pictures with it. And I also did a couple of times that I just hand it over to a bridesmaid and say, hey, do you want to take a couple of pictures for the next couple of minutes to see it from your side, or to hand it off to a groomsman when I'm away with the couple to document what else is going on while I'm not there to take the pictures of. And the fact that you can just set it to f2, automated ISO and automated shutter, makes it basically foolproof to use it. And people get so excited when I hand them the camera that when I get it back and look at the pictures, I'm sometimes very surprised of the quality of amazing shots that people can do with it. And it's just such an overwhelming thing when you hand it then over to the couple or the bridesmaid party or what have you, immediately on the same day, because you can just transfer the JPEG. Mostly what I do is in black and white to my phone, and I airdrop it to their phones, and they have a memory of their wedding at this day. And I think this is just priceless. And what I haven't mentioned is the Fuji X100V has an amazing feature when you shoot from inside a room to the outside, and outside it's much brighter than on the inside. I don't think it has to do too much with the dynamic range, but somehow the highlight retention that the Fuji X100V is just a lot better than in my actual professional camera, and I've done pictures with it that I couldn't do with my other camera, so I quite love that. And number 4, and obviously Fuji is known for that already, but it's just the street photography aspects of it. It's so tiny, you can sneak in pictures of people doing whatever. You're not immediately pointed out as a professional photographer and, hey, what are you doing there? I don't want you to take a picture of me. And also people don't freeze before it. So if you take a photo, it looks basically like, oh, it's a cute camera. I can feel quite natural. Because sometimes when you point the professional camera at a person, they just kind of freeze up and they forget how to breathe and look and smile. And with a tinier camera like this, this is just not the fact, and I just love that about this camera. So summing up my thoughts, it was obviously not a specific or very technical review of the Fuji X100V, because I think the technical aspects are already good. But what is so precious about it is just the fact that it's so small and it's always there, and it doesn't give you a choice of how you use it, because there is only one way you can use it. And it is so beautiful because it gives you one less thing to worry about. You just take it along. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It looks awesome. Everybody loves to take pictures with it and to have pictures taken basically from it. So I think it makes it a camera that most of you should consider putting on your wish list, or at least put it in your backpack or in your bag immediately and start documenting those things that you never thought that you should take pictures of. Guys, that's it from me. I hope you liked the video. If you have any comments about the Fuji X100V, any questions, if you have one and want to share how you use it, please drop it in the comments. Consider the subscribe button, hit a like, whatever you want to do. Until next time, bye-bye.